something completely different. I've got a hybrid. So I picked up this boiler last year, and it was a complete boiler, all the fixtures and fittings, but it was on its own, and I knew I'd use it for something, but I weren't entirely sure what I'd be using it for at the time. And then I got this Stuart Turner S50. I've bought this is just an old chopping board. Well, it's not an old chopping board, it's a new chopping board, as a base, because to buy the wood myself and cut it to this shape and you know, treat it, it's cheaper to just buy a chopping board. Suits the job. So I'm going to give it a go. I've got the Bix burner in now. I fired it up just now, so it won't take long to get going, but I'll turn it off just for a sec. So we'll give it a go and see what you think. But I weren't sure if that size boiler was going to keep up with this Stuart Turner, because the piston's quite big compared to like a normal Fleischman. But from what I remember, this was about as big as it gets with Fleischman burners, belt boilers. Sorry, it was a one from a 130. So we give it a go. I think it looks like quite a nice setup. We'll get it back up to steam and see what you think. But I like the Stuart Turners. This is quite a small model, so I did think that that boiler should get it going all right. We've got to get the condensation out first. This cooled down a bit now. It's got a bit of condensation in it, but I like my Stuart Turners. I haven't got many. I've had a few and I've sold them and wish I'd never sold them, and I've gone round in circles with Stuart Turners. They're a different type of model, and I normally have the models that, you know, sort of all-in-one plants. But when you look at the size of that piston and cylinder to the size of that piston and cylinder, there's not a lot of difference. Mind you, on the fork, the boiler is quite a bit bigger than this Fleischmann. So I thought I'd give it a go and see how we get on, and it did run. So I thought I'd do a quick video, because these are lovely models. If you, it wants to go already. Unless you buy these in a kit, they're very expensive. The kits are not too expensive really, but I've made a few models, and when you look at the kits, it looks like, wow, we're going to get a bargain, but there's a lot of work. There's a lot of hours goes into machining. There we go. There's a lot of hours in machining a model from castings. That boiler's only just coming up to pressure, so that's running quite nice, that engine, because the boiler's nowhere near its highest pressure at the moment. This S50 is one of Stuart Turner's cheapest models. I've had the Victoria, I've had the Beam. There is a screw on this one that comes loose, I'm going to have to look at. There you go. I think that's a nice little plant, don't you? That's a lovely boiler. It's a lovely boiler. Stuart Turner's lovely engine, lasts for years. Some of these are very old. I think Stuart Turner was first making model engines in the late 1800s. So you could someone's done something to this one, because down in there it normally says Stuart Turner. Someone, for some reason, has either filed it off or this didn't have it. But it's definitely a Stuart Turner. So the boiler seems to be keeping up with it. It's a temporary setup because I've used all these rubber hoses. Got one on the exhaust, but they work actually all right. If you're trying something out, it's an easy option. You start bending copper pipes and soldering ends on. A couple of these silicone hoses, they cope with the pressure and the heat. Runs lovely. Needs paint, needs a bit of paint. But yeah, not for a hybrid setup, that's quite good. Stuart Turner Fleischman boiler. I think that boiler weren't expensive compared to what you pay for a Stuart Turner boiler. A cheap one's, you know, either cheap one's expensive. Run it on my little Bix burner down there. You can see it in there, and there she goes. Nice. I think that's a lovely little plant. I might get a few more Stuart Turners this year. I've got a big, I've got a big reasonable size boiler, the 504, but it still won't run everything. I've connected the 504 to that poppet valve, and it won't run that. But look at the size of that cylinder; it's huge. But a 504 boiler won't run that engine, so I always run that on air. I think when you do buy one in the kit and machine it and then see it run, then there's a lot of satisfaction in that, because it definitely won't run well unless it's been machined. If you can machine this to the tolerances it needs to run like that, but yeah, I'm quite pleased with that, and I'm quite pleased that boiler is easily keeping up with the you know, the steam. Well, I thought I'd put a video on this, something different. And more like the sort of engines you see in museums. I'll close that down now. Anyway, just a quick one, guys. But yeah, it's quite a nice little hybrid boiler steam engine combination that actually works quite well. So I'll leave it there. It's only a quick one, but that's what I've been playing with today. Cheers, guys.